All right, boys and girls, here we go with Excel Lesson 82 from the 4th grade Excel series. Today we're going to learn about dividing one-digit divisors into a 4-digit dividend. I believe you've already done this with a 3-digit dividend, so it's really not a whole lot harder. You just got another step involved. Dividing a one-digit divisor, here we go. The vertical dotted lines will no longer be provided. Draw them in if you need them. Check each of your answers with multiplication. All right, so the opposite or the inversion of division is multiplication. Think about families of facts. If you have 6 times 3, that's 18, and then you can call it 3 times 6 is 18, and then 18 divided by 3 is 6, and 18 divided by 6 is 3. So the opposite or the inverse of multiplication is division. So you can check the division problem by multiplying, and we're going to do that today. So follow along with me on number 1. We're going to go through the steps here. This is 2,423 divided by 4. So first I'm going to ask, how many times does 4 go into 2? That first 2 right there. Well, it doesn't. 4 does not fit into 2. If I want to take 2 items and split it 4 ways, it does not really go in terms of a whole number. So then I can join the 2 with the 4 that's next to it right there, call that 24, and how many times does 4 go into 24? Or in this case, because the 2 is in the thousands place and the 4 is in the hundreds place, it's actually 2,400. How many times does 4 go into 2,400? The answer is 6. And so then we multiply next, of course. 6 times 4 is 24. 24 goes there. We subtract and get 0. And then we bring the 2 down. And then we say, how many times does 4 go into 2? Well, that's like what we were just talking about a second ago. 4 does not go into 2, so we put a 0 up here at the top, and then we pull the next number down. Now, you could do 0 times 4 is 0, of course, and 2 minus 0 is still 2. Or we can just pull the 3 down instead and do 4 into 23. 4 goes into 23 5 times. So put a 5 up here. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 goes there. 23 minus 20 is 3, and so there's 3 left over, and so we call that a remainder of 3. To check it, we do the answer, 605, times 4, which is the divisor right there, and when we multiply that, we get 2,420, and then we add the remainder right there to 2,420 and get 2,423, which matches up with the dividend that we started with, so we can feel pretty good about our answer. Okay, I'm going to do this next one here. 3 goes into 2. No, it doesn't go into 2, but 3 goes into 21 7 times. 7 times 3 is 21. Subtract and get 0. Bring the 0 down right there. 3 goes into 0 0 times. So we put a 0 up there. Now, how many times is 3? Well, I don't even know what they kind of messed up on this here, but we were bringing the 6 down to there. They didn't really show you that error. I'll show it for you. And then how many times does 3 go into 6? Goes in 2 times. 2 times 3 is that 6 right there. 6 minus 6 is 0. So the answer they're saying is 702. They check that by doing 702 times 3, and you get 2,106. All right, let's do number 3 together. Here we go. 3 goes into 1. No, 3 doesn't go into 1. So let's join the 1 with the 2 and call that 12. It's actually 1,200, but 3 goes into 1,200. Let's say 4 or 400 times. Make sure that 4 is right above the 2. Write that on your paper right now. 4 times 3 is 12. And then we're going to subtract. Draw the line across there, and we get 0. And then we're going to bring down the 0. How many times does 3 go into 0? It does not go in any time, so we're going to put a 0 up there and go ahead and bring down the 5. Again, we could do 0 times 3 is 0 and put a 0 right down there below the 0 and subtract and still get 0, but that's kind of silly. 0 minus 0 is 0. So I'm just going to bring the 5 down and continue on, but I do have to put the 0 up there in the answer. 3 goes into 5. How many times? Well, 1 time. 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract and get 2. Right, remainder 2, R2 over there. Now let's check the answer by taking 401, the quotient, multiplying it by 3. 1 times 3 is 3. 0 times 3 is 0. And 4 times 3 is 12. 1,203, and then we have to add our remainder of 2. We get 1,205. Always add the remainder after you're done with the multiplication, and 1,205. It matches up, so we can feel pretty confident with our answer. All right, I'm going to have you pause the video and try number 4 all by yourself. When you're done with number 4, turn the video back on and see how I did it. So you should have already done number 4. 6 does not go into 1. It does go into 18 3 times. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 minus 18 is 0. Bring down the 2. 6 does not go into 2, so I'm going to put a 0 up there. Bring down the 6. 6 does go into 26 4 times, because 6 times 4 is 24. Subtract and get 2, and so the answer is 304, remainder 2. Fix your paper if you didn't get that. Erase every mistake you have, even down in here. If you have a mistake down there, make sure you erase that. So 304 times 6, 4 times 6 is 24. Bring up the 2. 0 times 6 is 0, plus the 2 is 2. 3 times 6 is 18. Then we're going to add the 2 to that and get 1,826, because 4 plus 2 is 6. That matches up there, so we can feel confident about our answer. Okay, pause the video, do 5 and 6, do both of those, and then turn it back on when you're ready for the solution. Here we go. 2 goes into 1. Nope, doesn't go in. 17, it goes in 8 times, right? Because 2 times 8 is 16. Subtract and get 1. Bring down with the 3. 2 goes into 13 6 times, because 2 times 6 is 12. And you get a 1 there. You're going to bring the 0 down. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. Subtract and get 0, so there's no remainder. Then we're going to check this by doing 865 times 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Bring up the 1 there. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Regroup with the 1. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 1 is 17. 1730, 1730. Bam! Got it. Okay, you should have already done number 6. 7 goes into 2. Nope, it doesn't. It goes into 21 3 times. Before I forget, I'm going to put a dollar sign up there. Did you remember the dollar sign? And I'm going to put a decimal point right there, because this is money. That doesn't look like a very good decimal point. Hopefully you have a better decimal point than me. 3 times 7 is 21. Subtract, get 0. Bring down the 1. 7 does not go into 1. So I'm going to put a 0 there. Bring down the 4. How many times does 7 go into 14? 2 times. 2 times 7 is 14. 14 minus 14 is 0. So $3.02. I'm going to put that down here with a dollar sign and multiply that by 7. 2 times 7 is 14. Bring up the 1. 0 times 7 is 0, plus 1 is 1. And 3 times 7 is 21. Don't forget the decimal point and the dollar sign. There you go. Thanks for watching.